Hey everyone, Tazer here, and welcome to the first episode of Riverton Bay. So this is the new project that we're gonna start on the channel. And alright, so to sort of structure this video, I wanted to start off by explaining what this project will be. And then after that, I want to talk a little bit about where I have been for the last 4 months, because I haven't uploaded anything since December. Alright, so let's start with what this project will be. So I wanted to be able to make a bigger city again. I haven't really done that since New Toulouse. And just to clear it up, New Toulouse will not be continued. I don't have any inspiration for that project. But I still want to do like a big city, but I want to be able to complete the city. And even though you start off by thinking that you're not going to do like a smaller city and that you think you might be able to complete it, that's usually not the case, at least for me. So what I decided to do with this project is to put everything on an island. So this project is on an island, and the island is very small. I'm not sure how many tiles it actually is, but probably like 2 or 3 tiles or even less than that. I'm not 100% sure, but something like that. And I'm sorry if you hear a dog barking in the background. I have to have my window open because it's pretty warm here. Yeah, anyway, so where was I? Yeah, so this project is based on an island, and I wanted to do that to limit the amount of space I have to build on. So I actually have like an area I can't keep on building like forever, because there's water and there's a lot of mountains as well on this island. So like the fact that it's an island makes the project small, but on the island there's quite a lot of mountains and areas where you can't really build anything on as well. So it will really limit the amount of space. And yeah, the reason I wanted to do this is to limit the amount of space, because I want to be able to complete the city. So let's talk a little bit about the scale of the city. Obviously, it will not be like a realistic scale of a city. That's not what I'm going for. I'm going for the aesthetic of having a big city. I'm going for it to look like it's a big city with skyscrapers and all that kind of stuff, big highways. But the scale itself is actually not realistic. So think of it like GTA 5, that game. I think it's a really smart design and idea of the scale they did with that game. And also in that game they managed to feel like you go from different landscapes. So you're down in the city, and then you go through the desert. And then you get north in the map, and you get to more colder, like forest areas and that kind of stuff. But the map itself in GTA 5 is actually really small. Like you can drive through the whole map in like 3 minutes. So that whole idea of the scale is sort of what I wanted to go for here as well. Because I feel like it's a really good idea if you want to build a big city, but you actually want to be able to complete it. Now, obviously, I could do like a bigger city, a more realistic scale, but that would mean that I couldn't detail as much as I want to. Because what I really enjoy in this game is being able to go into small details, setting up different kind of scenes and stuff, and yeah, just my usual stuff, detailing for hours, because that's what I enjoy in the game. I think it's really cool having like big cities with a lot of infrastructure and stuff. I really like that, and I want to do that, but I also don't want to lose all of the small detailing and creating cool spots with a lot of character. I didn't want to lose that, and that's why I went with this whole idea of scaling the map like this. And actually this island map here, I actually think I created this map over a year ago, I'm pretty sure. I did customize it quite a lot now lately, when I was actually gonna do this project, because I already had this idea like over a year ago that I wanted to do some sort of project like this. So I started experimenting, and I came up with this island design. So yeah, I just changed it quite a bit, and put a lot more mountains and that kind of stuff on it. But other than that, I've had this map for quite some time. But yeah, so those are the plans for this project. And I also want to add that this is going to be a more American-based city, and specifically more for the types of roads, because I'll be using the Roads United US roads. Not the highways though, I'm actually using the ones by Claas, those concrete highways, because I really wanted to use those. I think they look really good. But yeah, this is going to be a mostly American-themed city, I guess we'll just figure out the whole aesthetic of the city as we go on. My initial plans right now for inspiration is just California, or more specifically Los Angeles, but it's not gonna be an LA city. That's not what it's gonna be. It's just that Los Angeles was the last place I was in the US, which was last year. So I guess it sort of makes sense that I'm taking inspiration from there. But also there are a lot of cool areas that I'm really inspired by and want to do some similar stuff to it. But I don't want to limit myself to have to, get reference from one sort of city, because I feel like that's, I don't know, I feel like that just is not as fun for me, because what I did with Brunnsvold, for example, was to just make a generic European city where I was able to take inspiration from real life in Sweden, and also take inspiration from all over Europe. Obviously, it was specifically Europe, like I didn't take any inspiration from the US, obviously, but I think limiting yourself to a continent is fine, but I just don't want to limit myself to one city. But yeah, so we'll be taking inspiration from all sort of cities in the US and maybe other cities in the world as well. But yeah, so I'm doing the whole road layout in this episode. I worked on the highway, which I think is pretty much done at this point. And now I'm working on some main roads and some avenues and stuff. And also, in case you're wondering how I will connect up and get outside connections to this place, I will simply put the highway, or I would drag the highway going into a mountain at each end of the island, and just make the highway go into a tunnel, and in that tunnel I will just bring it underneath the ocean all the way out to the edges of the map and where it's not visible, and that's where I'll just connect up the highway with outside connections. So in the cinematics, which I assume will not be that interesting for this episode, but I still want to show off everything we built, you will see traffic moving along on the highway, and that's because I have connected it to the outskirts. So I think that's a really good idea to just do it, and just works fine. You don't see those outside connections at all, and yeah, it's just really good. I'm just working on the highways now a little bit more, making some interchanges and stuff, and off-ramps and that kind of stuff. But yeah, so let's talk about where I've been for the last 4 months. So in January and February, I was very busy with some other stuff in my life, so I just saw those months as taking a break from YouTube and taking a break from playing City Skylines, even though I didn't really take a break totally, because I worked on a guest build for Pug Gaming, and then in the end of February I worked on a guest build for Skibith. In case you haven't checked those out, I'll try to remember to put some links in the description. But I didn't work on any sort of my own projects at that time. I just wanted to take a break from it and just sort of get a nice restart, just take a break from YouTube and that kind of stuff. And then March rolled around, and I was sort of ready to get going with a project. And my idea was actually to start another project, and I was actually going to go to the place where that project was going to be inspired by, the place I was going to take inspiration from for that project, which was a city. And I was actually planning on going there this summer, but because of all the events in the world, as you probably know, I don't know if this thing is true, but if you say that word, your video gets demonetized. I'm not sure if that's a thing, but hey, I'm just not gonna say the word. I think everyone knows. But due to that, my trip got cancelled this summer that I was supposed to go in June, so I couldn't go to that place, and get a lot of cool footage and get a lot of inspiration for that project that I was going to base off that city. So I simply got super unmotivated because of that trip got cancelled, and I really couldn't get going with that project. I just looked at the map and I really just couldn't get started with it because I had no inspiration more. I was just really bummed out that I wasn't going to be able to go there, and I just lost a lot of inspiration for it. And at that time I sort of felt like I wanted to do something completely different, which is sort of what I'm doing in this project, which is to create a big city, or something that looks like a big city. And that's where I thought about this whole new idea with just the scaling and stuff for the project, being able to do a big city, but actually being able to complete it. So yeah, I started working on this project instead. That, as I said, I already created the map like a year ago. So this was a project that I had in the back of my head that I could sort of do. Not saying that this is just some extra project that I don't really care about. I've actually been wanting to do this project for a long time, but I've just had like other stuff in mind that I prioritized. But I'm actually really excited to get going with this one, because I haven't built a big city in quite some time. And also using like metro overhaul and stuff, which I haven't used before, which is pretty exciting. But yeah, so that's sort of where I've been, and that took some extra time to, get into this whole project, get inspiration from it, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so that's sort of where I've been for the last 4 months. And I hope you guys still are left on this channel, and that you all haven't just abandoned this channel. So yeah, hopefully some of you guys are still here, at least I hope so. But yeah, I'm back now, and I don't know how often I will upload these videos. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to upload every single week like I did with Brunswold. I do want to upload as often as I can, of course. But we'll see. Like, I have a lot of stuff, or not a lot of stuff, but in like a month or so, I have some stuff I need to do, and I might be a little bit more busier then. But I mean, everyone is just staying home and stuff, including me, so I should have a lot more time to work on this. But yeah, I'm just saying, don't expect like a video every single week, because I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that. But I want to upload as often as I can. Alright, so that was a lot of talking for like 14 minutes, and I kind of really need to sip some water now, so excuse me. I don't know if I've done that in a video before. I tend to not do that. I tend to just talk forever and not take any breaks or that kind of stuff. But yeah, anyway, so I'm working on this little thing here with the metro overhaul thing. A lot of thing there. But I wanted to have this underground line, which will go straight underneath the downtown. I wanted to have this go overground as well, or not. I think on ground. Yeah, I wanted to go on ground as well. So I did this sort of opening here from the tunnel and used these, I don't know what they call, like ploppable grass or something like that. And then I just used a lot of retaining walls and stuff. And I'm actually gonna do something that I took some inspiration from, or I got some inspiration from Raymont, which is a very old project that I did a couple of years ago. For this train tunnel. The thing I'm doing right here, just putting these balks ahead of the train tracks here, where it's sort of going out from the tunnel or going in, depending on which direction. But I did this in a like tram tunnel in that series, and I remember it looking really cool, because a lot of tunnels actually do look like this when they start or end. And yeah, I just wanted to add those bugs there. I thought it looked pretty cool, and I do like the end result of this little opening here. And yeah, I actually don't put down any buildings and stuff for this episode. I wanted to get a lot of roads done and laid out. Because one of the reasons is because this is a small project, like this is a small scale, so it won't take that long to, you know, plan out the infrastructure and stuff. So yeah, I decided to just put down pretty much all of the major roads for this city here as well. So that sort of took this whole time lapse to do. So unfortunately no buildings in this episode, but I think we might do that in the next one. We'll see. I still haven't really planned out what I want to do for the next one. But yeah, just expanding the metro line here. And I actually didn't complete all of the metro lines yet. I have 2 more stations to do for them before we have the whole metro system done for this city as well. So yeah, but I'm using the metro overhaul mod, which is really cool. Haven't really used that before, so I'm pretty excited for that. And yeah, so this time-lapse is coming to an end, and also this episode. I wanted to keep it pretty short in the beginning, sort of get your guys' thoughts on this project. So please let me know what you think about it, if you have any ideas for the project that you would like to see, and just ask away if you are interested in anything or want to know anything. So yeah, but hope you enjoyed this episode. Take care, guys. Leave a like if you did. Also subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll catch you in the next one. Enjoy the cinematics, and see you later.